part of making a granny square Afghan is planning for it. And so basically you take your bucket of scrap yarn and pour it out on the table and assess what you have. I like to use and decide on these smaller amounts. I want to get rid of them once and for all. They're just those little annoying little parts. So what I do, since I do a lot of my work on the road or on the train or a plane or in the car, I actually take a bag, a large, Ziploc bag, and I put in all the small amounts that I definitely want to use. Now you know that you have enough to either do the center, the middle section, or the outer border. So I don't have to worry about it. But the smallest amount of yarn can be used on the center part. And how do you figure out how much do you need to do that? Well, I have a way of doing that. Let's look at this piece. We know this ball of red has plenty to do at least a few borders on the outside. So that would use the most yarn. So the amount that you need to do the piece on the inside is the full width of your arm span plus from your wrist to your opposite shoulder. That is how much I need. I will have this much left over, but that's okay. And so now I'm going to wind it up. And I'm going to show you a little trick so that this doesn't get messy. When you get to about 12 inches, this is an old sailor trick that my buddies taught me. You pinch it, you wrap it around. Now notice my finger is through the one loop. When I get to about 4 inches, I fold over to make another loop, push that one through there, and I take the end and put it through the loop I just pushed through and pull it up. The line is tied and you can throw it into your little mix and you don't have to worry about it undoing and knotting up all your stuff. Now, that one will cover the middle part. Let's see how much this one will cover. Remember, for the second level or the second round, we would need twice as much, so that's 3, basically, 3 arms lengths. 1, 2, 3, and I have a little extra. So that is enough to do this middle section. The outside section I'm not going to worry about, but it would be 4.5. That's one consideration. Now here's another one. It's only 1 arm span. Guess what? That is not enough to do this center, but it is enough to put in my smidgen bag where I keep smidgens of yarn where I don't want to use the color again or it's too short to do anything else with. Let's check out this pink. Ooh, that's even shorter. Guess where that goes? Back to the smidgens. If you go out to my website, twistedyarns.com, you can download the smidgen scarf and I'll show you exactly what to do with those last little bits of ends. And as you work through this yarn, you are going to get more smidgens. So just so you know, 1.5 your arm width will probably do the center for you. You don't have to decide at this time what color the border is. Maybe you know that you want to use a black traditional border, and if you do, then I have a couple of words of wisdom for you. Don't put dark colors on the outer border, on the outer edge. If you put dark purple up against black, it just looks the same. If you put dark green up against black, it looks the same. If you put brown, dark brown up against it, it looks the same. So, if you're planning a very dark border, make sure that your dark colors are either in the center or in the middle, the median row, not on the outer row. If you're doing light color border, you want to make sure that your light colors, this is a very pale yellow and this is an ecru, you want to use those colors once again on the inner and the median rows. That way you have contrast when it gets to the white. Now I rarely use white except when I'm using pastels for babies, or if I'm doing a seasonal Afghan such as Christmas where you want to use green and red and white and gold. Those are traditional colors for that time of year, and that's when I would use this primarily. However, I'm not adverse. I very rarely make black borders anymore. I usually go with a medium tone, like a caramel. I've done forest green borders. I've done caramel colored borders, which are attractive because you can just do about anything with them. Even the darker gray colors go very nice against it. And the lighter colors surprisingly go nice against it. Another color that is kind of fun to do a border, I've done borders with glowworm green. And you can get a really high impact, youthful look with that. So now sometimes I will go into the store and I will bring in my whole stitch holder full of the motifs, just so that I am absolutely positive that the colors will match. For example, I have a heritage blue color. It goes nice with the gray. Bright green goes very nice against the gray. The reds go nice against the gray. Even this darker blue, it's a more intense royal blue, goes nice against it. The purples certainly look flattering, and turquoise. So after I go and look at the whole color array that I'm using in the scrap Afghan, I pick out this color. And this is what you call heather gray. Now, heather gray, there's only one other little tip I'll give you about heather gray. Even though this is a super saver yarn, it is dye-lotted. And these are two matching dye lots. Be careful with heather gray because they still dye-lot those. It's not like the new colors where they're all one dye lot. So just make sure you get the same color gray because you don't want any misgivings when you put your borders on. Okay, so now that we have our border colors selected, we'll be ready for the next video. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I will show you how to crochet a granny square motif. If you like what you see, please click my picture and subscribe. Thanks again.